Hello, my name is Kiara, and I will be your therapist here at the domestic shelter today. Um, and you're Becca, correct?
Right.
All right. Want to tell me about why you're here today?
There's some issues. Me and my husband recently separated because of some past issues.
Okay. And from my understanding, there's some abuse possibly going on.
Yeah, recently some abuse started. Just yeah, some issues.
Okay. Well, you seem a little uncomfortable, Becca. So I will share my story with you. In my previous relationship, I got married young, and about I was 20 years old, and it was an abusive relationship. My husband would say demeaning things to me, call me names. He would talk about my weight. When we first got married, um, I wasn't overweight, and I did start to gain weight, and he would, constantly, constantly remind me, telling me, don't eat this, I don't need that, tell me how I was, call me fat, and other names that, really impacted my self-esteem. To he made me feel low and would belittle me. So I can understand, some ways you may be feeling. I was with him, for about, 6 years before I did get the courage to, leave the relationship. It just wasn't, healthy for me anymore. I went through a miscarriage in that relationship, and that was, also hard to get through, and I gained, even more weight, because I was pregnant, and he still didn't seem to understand the weight gain. I would come home sometimes, and he would, it was verbal abuse. There was also, you know, physical abuse if he felt like I wasn't listening, to him. Um, I guess he felt more like since I was the woman in the relationship, I was beneath him. So he needed my undivided attention when he spoke, and I couldn't interrupt him at all when he was speaking. And I really couldn't express my own opinions without, getting, shoved or grabbed or I don't know if I'm gonna say roughed up, So, you can express that to me, I can understand, some of the things you may be potentially be going through in your current relationship.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you said that he belittled you, that brings to mind, that my husband belittles me as well. He I don't know. He made me seem like a bad wife because I had a job and I had a career, and his idea of a wife, I should be home. I should be home by the time he gets home. Dinner should be ready. The house should be clean, and that's not always the case because I have my job and I'm doing well at my job. So I just recently got a little bit of a promotion and some more responsibilities, which means I have to stay late. And it bothers him very much that when he gets home, the dinner's not ready and the dinner's not on the table waiting for him. So that makes him upset, and he belittles me as a wife. He makes me feel that I'm incapable of being a good wife, and that I should, that I'm incapable of staying home and having things done the way he wants them, as I should, as a good wife. Um, And it gets to the point where I try to explain to him, especially, since I'm staying late, he's accused me of staying late to flirt with another coworker, and that's just not true. And I tried to explain to him, and like you said, it's a little similar for me. He was talking, and I spoke too soon. I shouldn't have. I know he gets upset when I interrupt him, but I spoke too soon, and I cut him off. And at that point, he grabbed my wrist and kind of twisted my arm, and I have bruises because of that. So it got a little out of hand, which is why we're separating right now. But I just feel guilty. I feel like I'm not a good wife. I feel like, I should have been able to manage better my career and my house duties.
Okay. So it sounds more like he has more traditional roles where the woman should be cooking and cleaning,
he's
and
very old fashioned when it comes to that.
Okay, so and he brings home the bacon, and the woman is the housekeeper and caregiver.
Even though he doesn't notice that we're both bringing home the bacon technically, but he doesn't see that. He still sees, the woman, no matter what I do on the outside, I should still be able to do those household womanly duties, as he calls them.
Womanly duties, okay. So, also, Becca, tell me more. You say, you feel like you let him down, like you should be able to do all those things. Tell me more about your culture and your background and your family growing up.
Well, I'm Puerto Rican, and my parents are, traditional Puerto Ricans. I was raised in a family where the husband did go out. My father was the one who provided for his family, took care of his family, protected his family, and then my mother is, the one who takes care of the house, cleans, cooks, makes sure the children are taken care of. So I do understand. I feel like I did grow up with that expectation that women are to fulfill those duties. And although my father never abused my mother, there were those clear role differences as far as who does what. And I guess that's where I feel like my shortcomings come into play, even though my mom didn't have to work and she was just taking care of the household, so it was easier for her to just focus on that. But I still do feel that I should be able to manage better and be able to do that along with my career.
Okay, so your mom had more of a traditional, because she stayed home and took care of the household, and you're working and, trying to also do the traditional, take care of the home and everything. I can relate to that as well, even though I come from, African American culture. I also was, with my parents, saw the traditional, wife stayed home. My mom had me, she did stay home for a few years before, my father told her to go back to work, to help with, the bills and everything. And my family was Pentecostal, so, and religious as well. So they did try to do, more traditional. The man is the head of household, and the woman submits to him. And also, with me and my family, I am the first one to, go to college and graduate. And, I don't want to say, be successful, because, I feel like my parents are successful, but they, didn't go to college. And, my dad, I don't believe he, graduated high school. He just went right into the workforce. And my mom went into the workforce. And, some of our parents didn't have the same opportunities, in that generation as we do now. But I can understand you also when you're saying, that you've seen your parents have more traditional roles in the relationship.
I feel like that's also another issue for me. I'm also the first one of my siblings to go to college, and all of my siblings were married at a young age, and they married Hispanic men, just Puerto Rican men, just as our culture, and that's another issue that I'm dealing with because my husband is American, and my parents didn't agree necessarily with that choice that I made initially. But they did get over it. But the problem is now that I feel that there's too much tension um, between the fact that I married an American guy. I don't feel like I can go to them to express what's going on with me, the abuse and all of that, because I don't know, I feel worried about what they'll say because initially they didn't want me to marry him. Um, I don't know if they'll throw that back in my face or whatnot. Um, but it's difficult.
I can understand it. So you feel like they'll think, okay, they were right. Like they told you in the beginning, you shouldn't have married him, just because he was American, and then you went along and married him anyway, and now
it's backfiring.
Yeah,
just like they said it would.
Yeah, now you're unhappy, and you feel you're in an abusive relationship. Okay.
Which I don't think it's that he's American. There's Hispanic men that are abusive. I just don't think they'll see that. I think they'll just go back to, you see, we told you not to marry this American guy, and now look at the boat you're
in. Yeah. So right now they currently don't really, they don't have any idea what's going on.
I had to miss a birthday party because the night before, me and my husband had gotten into an argument, and he hit my face, and I had a bruise on my face, and I just had no way of explaining that to them. So I couldn't go to that birthday party, and I made up a lie. I told them that I had to work, and now they're upset. They're upset with me because they feel that no job should should come between a person and their family. So now, I know that they're proud of me because I went to college, but I also know that the fact that I'm not following in their traditional, just a woman should be all about her family, that's also affecting the situation. And now I feel like because I had to lie about my husband, now they feel negatively about me marrying an American guy and also having a career. So I just feel like I'm failing as a daughter, as a wife.
So basically, you believe that this, your marriage can be affecting your other relationships, with your family, with your parents, and also possibly with your job. Okay. And that can be understandable when you are in a relationship with a husband who's abusive or controlling. He does like to seem like keep you close, and it does impact your other relationships because he, seems to cut off the ties you have with your family before. Like you said, you were pretty close with your family before your relationship, and now you're seeing them less and less, and that's how it was. That's how it was with me. We practically moved, into a new city away from my family once we got married, and it seemed like the relationships grew less and less and further in between. And we just grew, I just grew more distant from my family. And I didn't let them know anything that was going on because I didn't want them to look down on me and my husband in the relationship. But, eventually over time, I did, seek help. And I went to, I also went to a therapist to talk. And then my self-esteem grew, and I realized that, I deserved better,
I guess that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm hoping to establish,
Okay. Okay, and we can also go on, some techniques and um, interventions that will help you, build your self-esteem and empower you, and you get the strength, you feel like you need.
Right.
So yes, Becca, is there anything else you feel like you need to discuss?
No, not at this moment, no.
All right. Okay. Well, it was nice meeting you,
Nice
and
meeting you too. Thank you so much.
each week we can meet up and we can discuss other things that you would like to discuss, about your relationships, and have our relationship as well.
Okay.
Build. Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Becca.
Bye bye.